Tattoos have been a popular form of body art for centuries. From ancient times to modern days, tattoos have been used to symbolize various meanings and convey important messages. Let's take a journey through the history of tattoos. Prehistoric times. The earliest evidence of tattoos dates back to prehistoric times. Archaeological discoveries have found that ancient tribes used tattoos as a form of identification and to represent their status in the community. Ancient Egypt. In ancient Egypt, tattoos were used as a symbol of devotion to the gods. Priests and priestesses often had tattoos of sacred symbols and animals. It was also common for women to have tattoos on their bodies as a form of beauty and attraction. Polynesia. In Polynesia, tattoos were a significant part of the culture. They were used to represent social status, genealogy, and personal achievements. The intricate designs and patterns were created using traditional tools, such as sharp sticks and bone combs. Japan. In Japan, tattoos were used as a form of punishment for criminals. However, over time, tattoos became popular among the working class and were used to represent their professions. Samurai warriors also had tattoos to signify their loyalty and bravery. Modern day. Today, tattoos have become a popular form of self-expression and art. People of all ages and backgrounds get tattoos to represent their beliefs, passions, and life experiences. Tattoos are now created using advanced equipment and techniques, making it easier and safer to get inked. Tattoos have come a long way since their humble beginnings. From a form of punishment to a form of self-expression, tattoos have stood the test of time. Whether you choose to get a tattoo or not, remember that each tattoo has a unique story and meaning behind it. Let's delve deeper into the fascinating history of tattoos. Ancient Greece and Rome. In ancient Greece and Rome, tattoos were not as common as they were in other cultures. However, they were still used to represent certain beliefs and values. Some Greek and Roman soldiers had tattoos of their victories and accomplishments, while some slaves had tattoos to show their ownership. Middle Ages. During the Middle Ages, tattoos were often associated with criminal activity and were used to mark criminals and outcasts. However, some religious pilgrims got tattoos of religious symbols to show their devotion and to protect them during their travels. Native Americans. For Native Americans, tattoos were a symbol of their spiritual beliefs and cultural heritage. Different tribes had different tattoo designs and meanings. Some tribes used tattoos as a form of protection, while others used them to signify important life events. Modern era. In the 20th century, tattoos became more mainstream, and they began to represent a wider range of meanings. Tattoo artists developed new techniques and styles, and people began to get tattoos purely for aesthetic reasons. Tattoos also became a way for people to show their affiliation with certain groups or subcultures. Pop culture. Today, tattoos are a major part of pop culture. Many celebrities have tattoos, and tattoo artists have become celebrities in their own right. Tattoo conventions and competitions draw large crowds, and the art of tattooing has become more respected and recognized as a legitimate form of art. Tattoos have evolved and changed over time, but they have always held significant meaning and importance. Whether you get a tattoo for personal or cultural reasons, it is a permanent mark on your body that tells a story. Remember to choose a design that is meaningful to you and that you will be proud to wear for the rest of your life. Let's continue our journey through the rich history of tattoos. The Industrial Revolution. During the Industrial Revolution, tattoos became more common among sailors and soldiers. They often got tattoos of nautical symbols and designs, which represented their travels and adventures at sea. Soldiers also got tattoos to commemorate their time in the military. The women's suffrage movement. In the early 20th century, some women got tattoos as a form of political protest during the women's suffrage movement. They got tattoos of symbols such as arrows and the suffragette slogan "Votes for Women" to show their support for the cause. The Holocaust. During the Holocaust, concentration camp prisoners were marked with tattoos as a way of identifying them. These tattoos often included a prisoner number and were used to keep track of the prisoners. Some survivors of the Holocaust chose to keep their tattoos as a reminder of their experiences. The Tattoo Renaissance. In the 1980s and 1990s, there was a resurgence of interest in tattoos, and the art form experienced a renaissance. This was due in part to the popularity of rock and punk music and the emergence of tattoo subcultures. Tattoo artists began to experiment with new styles and techniques, and the demand for tattoos grew. The present day. Today, tattoos are more popular than ever, and they continue to evolve and change. There are countless styles and designs to choose from, and people get tattoos for a variety of reasons. Some get tattoos to mark important life events, while others get tattoos purely for aesthetic reasons. Tattoos have a rich and complex history that spans cultures and time periods. They have been used to represent social status, religious beliefs, political views, and personal experiences. Today, tattoos are a form of self-expression and art, and they continue to be an important part of popular culture. Ancient times. The history of tattoos can be traced back to ancient times, where it was practiced by many different cultures around the world. In Egypt, tattoos were used as a symbol of social status and were often reserved for the wealthy and powerful. Some tattoos were also believed to have magical properties, and they were used to protect the wearer from harm. In Polynesia, tattoos played an important role in religious and cultural practices. The intricate designs were used to tell stories and represent important beliefs and values. Some tattoos were also believed to have spiritual power, and they were used to protect the wearer from evil spirits. In Japan, tattoos were used to mark criminals and outcasts. The tattoos, which often depicted animals or mythical creatures, were seen as a form of punishment and were intended to make the wearer more easily identifiable. Middle Ages. During the Middle Ages, tattoos were not as common as they were in other cultures. However, they were still used to represent certain beliefs and values. Some religious pilgrims got tattoos of religious symbols to show their devotion and to protect them during their travels. In the Middle East, tattoos were often used to mark slaves and servants. Native Americans. For Native Americans, tattoos were a symbol of their spiritual beliefs and cultural heritage. Different tribes had different tattoo designs and meanings. Some tribes used tattoos as a form of protection, while others used them to signify important life events. The Maori people of New Zealand used tattoos as a way to show their rank and social status within their tribe. The intricate designs, which were often applied using a chisel and ink, represented their ancestry and cultural heritage. Age of Exploration. During the Age of Exploration, sailors and explorers often got tattoos to commemorate their travels and adventures. These tattoos, which often featured nautical symbols and designs, were a way to show their love of the sea and their bravery in the face of danger. The Industrial Revolution. During the Industrial Revolution, tattoos became more common among sailors and soldiers. They often got tattoos of nautical symbols and designs, which represented their travels and adventures at sea. Soldiers also got tattoos to commemorate their time in the military. Women's suffrage movement. In the early 20th century, some women got tattoos as a form of political protest during the women's suffrage movement. They got tattoos of symbols such as arrows and the suffragette slogan "Votes for Women" to show their support for the cause. The Holocaust. During the Holocaust, concentration camp prisoners were marked with tattoos as a way of identifying them. These tattoos often included a prisoner number and were used to keep track of the prisoners. Some survivors of the Holocaust chose to keep their tattoos as a reminder of their experiences. Tattoo Renaissance. In the 1980s and 1990s, there was a resurgence of interest in tattoos, and the art form experienced a renaissance. This was due in part to the popularity of rock and punk music and the emergence of tattoo subcultures. Tattoo artists began to experiment with new styles and techniques, and the demand for tattoos grew. Modern times. Today, tattoos are more popular than ever, and they continue to evolve and change. There are countless styles and designs to choose from, and people get tattoos for a variety of reasons. Some get tattoos to mark important life events, while others get tattoos purely for aesthetic reasons. Tattoos are also becoming more accepted in the workplace as more. In modern times, tattoos have become increasingly mainstream and accepted in society. They are no longer associated solely with counterculture or fringe groups. Many people, from all walks of life, have tattoos and use them as a form of self-expression. The art of tattooing has also evolved in recent years. Advances in technology and new techniques have allowed for more intricate and detailed designs. Tattoo artists now use a variety of tools, including modern tattoo machines and specialized ink, to create stunning works of art on the skin. In addition, there are now many different styles of tattooing to choose from. Traditional styles, such as American traditional and Japanese traditional, remain popular, but there are also newer styles such as watercolor, geometric, and realism. Some tattoo artists also specialize in creating custom designs that are unique to each individual. Tattoos have also become more accepted in the workplace. While there are still some industries and professions that frown upon visible tattoos, many workplaces are becoming more relaxed about tattoo policies. Some companies even allow employees to display visible tattoos as a form of self-expression. In conclusion, the art of tattooing has a rich and varied history that spans many cultures and time periods. Today, tattoos continue to evolve and change, becoming more accepted and mainstream than ever before. Whether it's for personal expression, cultural significance, or aesthetic reasons, tattoos continue to be an important part of our society and culture. Traditional, also known as American traditional or old school. This style is characterized by bold lines, solid colors, and classic designs such as anchors, hearts, and eagles. It originated in the early 1900 seconds and was popularized by tattoo artists such as Sailor Jerry. Japanese, also known as Irezumi. This style features intricate designs and bold colors. Traditional Japanese tattoos often depict mythical creatures such as dragons and koi fish, as well as flowers and other natural elements. This style has a long history in Japanese culture dating back to the Edo period. Realism. This style aims to create a realistic, three-dimensional image on the skin. It often features portraits, landscapes, and other images that look like they could be photographs. Realism tattoos require a lot of skill and attention to detail and are often quite large and intricate. Watercolor. This style is characterized by bright, vibrant colors and abstract designs that look like they were painted with watercolors. Watercolor tattoos often have a dreamy, ethereal quality and can feature anything from flowers and animals to abstract shapes and patterns. Blackwork. This style features bold, black designs that cover large areas of the skin. It often includes geometric shapes and patterns, as well as images of animals and other natural elements. Blackwork tattoos can be quite striking and dramatic, and are often used to create a bold, graphic look. Neo-traditional. This style combines elements of traditional and contemporary tattooing. It often features bold lines and solid colors, but incorporates more intricate designs and contemporary themes. Neo-traditional tattoos can be quite colorful and detailed, and often feature images of animals, flowers, and other natural elements. Tribal. This style features bold, abstract designs that are inspired by traditional tribal tattoos from around the world. Tribal tattoos often incorporate geometric shapes and patterns, as well as images of animals and other natural elements. They can be quite large and cover large areas of the body. These are just a few of the many styles of tattoos that are popular today. Each style has its own unique characteristics and history and can be used to create a wide range of images and designs. Whether you're looking for a classic, traditional tattoo or something more contemporary and abstract, there is sure to be a style that suits your preferences and personality. Irezumi tattoos, also known as traditional Japanese tattoos, have a long history in Japanese culture dating back to the Edo period. They are characterized by intricate designs, bold colors, and a specific technique of application using a handheld needle and ink. Irezumi tattoos often depict traditional Japanese themes such as mythical creatures, flowers, and natural elements, and are often placed on the back, chest, and arms. One of the most famous Japanese tattoo artists was Horimono Kuniyoshi, who lived during the 19th century. Kuniyoshi was known for his incredibly detailed and lifelike designs, and his work is still admired and studied by tattoo artists around the world today. In Japan, Irezumi tattoos were traditionally associated with the Yakuza, a Japanese organized crime syndicate. Members of the Yakuza often had full-body Irezumi tattoos, which were seen as a symbol of their loyalty and dedication to the group. However, in recent years, Irezumi tattoos have become more mainstream in Japan and are now appreciated as works of art and cultural heritage. One of the unique features of Irezumi tattoos is the use of specific colors and images to convey specific meanings. For example, dragons are often used to represent strength and courage, while koi fish symbolize perseverance and determination. Peonies, cherry blossoms, and chrysanthemums are popular flower motifs that are associated with different seasons and emotions. In order to create an Irezumi tattoo, the artist uses a handheld needle to puncture the skin and inject ink into the dermis layer. This technique is called tebori, and it requires a great deal of skill and precision. The process of creating an Irezumi tattoo can be quite lengthy and may require multiple sessions over the course of several months or even years. Overall, Irezumi tattoos are a fascinating and intricate art form that reflect the rich cultural heritage of Japan. While they were once associated with criminal activity, they are now appreciated and admired by people around the world as a form of self-expression and cultural appreciation. During the Holocaust, prisoners in Nazi concentration camps were often tattooed with identification numbers as a means of dehumanizing and identifying them. The tattoos were typically placed on the prisoner's left forearm and consisted of a series of numbers that corresponded to their assigned prisoner number. The tattoos were often applied using crude methods, such as needles and ink, and the process was extremely painful and traumatic for the prisoners. The use of tattoos as identification markers began in 1941 as the Nazis sought a more efficient way to keep track of the growing number of prisoners in the camps. The tattoos allowed camp officials to easily identify prisoners and keep track of their movements, which made it easier to carry out the brutal and inhumane practices that were carried out in the camps. The practice of tattooing prisoners continued throughout the war, with an estimated 400,000 prisoners receiving tattoos in the Auschwitz concentration camp alone. The tattoos served as a constant reminder to prisoners of their status as dehumanized objects rather than individuals with identities and personal histories. After the war, many survivors of the Holocaust chose to have their tattoos removed or covered up as a way of reclaiming their bodies and reclaiming their identities. However, for others, the tattoos remain as a powerful symbol of their experiences and their resilience in the face of unimaginable suffering. Today, Holocaust tattoos are often viewed as a symbol of the atrocities committed during the war and the importance of remembering and honoring the victims. They serve as a reminder of the need to stand up against hate and discrimination and to fight for justice and human rights for all. Watercolor tattoos are a relatively new trend in the world of tattooing that first emerged in the early 2010 seconds. As the name suggests, these tattoos mimic the appearance of watercolor paintings, with vibrant colors blending and bleeding into one another, creating a soft and dreamy effect. Unlike traditional tattoos, watercolor tattoos do not typically have distinct black outlines and instead rely on the use of color and shading to create the image. This style of tattooing can be incredibly intricate, with artists using a range of techniques such as splatter, drip, and brush strokes to create the desired effect. Watercolor tattoos are often chosen for their unique and artistic aesthetic, as well as their ability to express emotions and ideas in a way that traditional tattoos may not be able to. They can be used to depict a wide range of subjects, from abstract designs to realistic portraits and landscapes. One of the challenges of creating watercolor tattoos is that the ink used must be diluted in order to achieve the desired effect, which can make the tattoo less durable over time. As a result, watercolor tattoos may require more frequent touch-ups than traditional tattoos. Another challenge is finding a skilled artist who specializes in watercolor tattooing, as the style requires a specific set of skills and techniques that not all tattoo artists possess. It is important to do thorough research and choose an artist who has a strong portfolio of watercolor tattoos. Despite these challenges, watercolor tattoos have become increasingly popular in recent years and are a favorite among those seeking a more unique and artistic form of self-expression through body art. The tattoo renaissance of the late 20th and early 21st centuries was marked by a resurgence of interest in tattooing as an art form and a growing acceptance of tattoos as a mainstream form of self-expression. This renaissance was characterized by a number of factors, including the influence of popular culture, the growth of the tattoo industry, and advances in technology that allowed for greater precision and detail in tattoo designs. One of the key figures in the tattoo renaissance was tattoo artist Lyle Tuttle, who gained fame in the 1960s and 72nds for his bold and colorful designs. Tuttle helped to popularize tattooing as a form of self-expression and worked to demystify the art form for mainstream audiences. Another important factor in the tattoo renaissance was the influence of popular culture, particularly in the music and fashion industries. Rock and roll icons such as Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix helped to popularize tattoos as a symbol of rebellion and nonconformity, while fashion designers began to incorporate tattoo-inspired designs into their collections. As the tattoo industry grew, so too did the number of skilled artists who were dedicated to pushing the boundaries of the art form. Tattoo artists began to experiment with new styles and techniques, such as realistic portraiture, intricate geometric designs, and watercolor tattoos. Advances in technology also played a key role in the tattoo renaissance, particularly the development of more precise and efficient tattoo machines. These machines allowed artists to create more intricate and detailed designs and made the process of tattooing faster and less painful for clients. Today, the tattoo renaissance continues to thrive, with tattooing firmly established as a mainstream form of self-expression and a recognized art form in its own right. The industry is home to a diverse range of artists and styles and continues to evolve and innovate as new techniques and technologies emerge. Polynesian tattoos are traditional tattoos that originated in the Pacific Islands, including Samoa, Fiji, Tonga, and Tahiti. These tattoos are known for their intricate designs and use of bold, black lines. Polynesian tattoos have deep cultural and spiritual significance and are often used to mark important life events such as coming of age, marriage, and accomplishments. The tattoos are created by tapping a tattooing tool called a tatau into the skin, which deposits ink into the deeper layers of the skin. Each design in Polynesian tattooing has a specific meaning, and the placement of the tattoo on the body also has significance. For example, tattoos on the arms signify strength and courage, while tattoos on the legs signify a connection to the earth and one's roots. Today, Polynesian tattoos have become popular all over the world, and many people choose to get them simply for their aesthetic appeal. However, it's important to remember that these tattoos have deep cultural significance and should be respected as such. Tattooing has a long and complex history that has evolved over time, from the ancient practice of using tattoos for spiritual and cultural purposes to the modern era, where tattoos are a mainstream form of self-expression and body art. In the past, tattoos were often associated with tribal cultures and were used to signify social status, religious beliefs, or other important cultural markers. In some cultures, tattoos were believed to have spiritual significance and were used in rituals or as a form of protection. Over time, the practice of tattooing spread to other cultures and became associated with criminal gangs, sailors, and other marginalized groups. Tattoos were often seen as a sign of rebellion or nonconformity and were not widely accepted in mainstream society. In the 20th century, tattooing began to experience a resurgence in popularity, thanks in part to the influence of popular culture and the growth of the tattoo industry. Tattoo artists began to experiment with new styles and techniques, and tattoos began to be viewed as a legitimate art form. Today, tattoos are more popular than ever before, with an estimated 40% of adults in the United States having at least one tattoo. Tattoos are no longer associated solely with criminality or rebellion, and are now widely accepted in mainstream society. Tattooing has also become more diverse and inclusive, with a range of styles and designs that cater to a wide variety of tastes and preferences. Advances in technology and ink formulas have allowed artists to create more intricate and detailed designs than ever before, and have made the process of tattooing faster, safer, and less painful for clients. Overall, the history of tattooing reflects a long and complex evolution that has taken it from a cultural practice with spiritual significance to a mainstream form of self-expression and body art. While the reasons for getting a tattoo may have changed over time, the enduring popularity of tattoos reflects their continued ability to inspire and captivate people around the world. In modern times, tattoos have become an increasingly popular form of self-expression, body art, and personal identity. Today, tattoos are no longer viewed as a taboo or countercultural practice, but are instead widely accepted and celebrated by people from all walks of life. One of the defining features of modern-day tattoos is their diversity and variety. There are countless styles of tattoos, ranging from traditional styles like American traditional, Japanese irezumi, and blackwork, to more contemporary styles like watercolor, geometric, and dot work. This diversity allows people to express themselves in unique and personal ways, and enables tattoo artists to showcase their creativity and skill. Another defining feature of modern-day tattoos is the growing emphasis on safety and hygiene. With the rise in popularity of tattoos, there has also been a corresponding increase in awareness about the potential health risks associated with the practice. As a result, many tattoo artists and shops now prioritize safety and hygiene, using sterilized equipment and adhering to strict health and safety guidelines. The use of technology has also transformed the world of tattooing. Advances in tattoo equipment and ink formulations have made the process of tattooing faster, more precise, and less painful for clients. Many tattoo artists now use digital tools like tablets and computers to design their tattoos, allowing them to create intricate and detailed designs that were previously impossible. Social media has also played a major role in the modern-day tattoo industry. Platforms like Instagram have allowed tattoo artists to showcase their work to a global audience and have given people the ability to discover and connect with tattoo artists from around the world. This has helped to raise the profile of tattooing as an art form and has helped to inspire and educate new generations of tattoo enthusiasts. Overall, modern-day tattoos reflect the evolution of tattooing as a legitimate and celebrated form of self-expression and body art. With their diversity, creativity, and emphasis on safety and hygiene, tattoos continue to capture the imagination of people around the world and to inspire new generations of tattoo enthusiasts. The history of tattoo ink is a complex and fascinating one that spans thousands of years. The earliest tattoo ink was made from natural materials like charcoal, soot, and plant extracts. These materials were mixed with water or oil to create a pigment that could be applied to the skin. As tattooing evolved over time, so too did the materials used to create tattoo ink. In the 19th century, tattoo ink was typically made from a combination of India ink and water. India ink was a type of ink that was traditionally used for calligraphy and drawing and was highly prized for its dark black color and durability. In the early 20th century, tattoo ink began to be produced commercially. Tattoo artists could purchase pre-made ink in a variety of colors, which made the process of tattooing faster and more efficient. However, these inks were often made from toxic chemicals like lead, mercury, and cadmium, which posed serious health risks to both the tattoo artist and the client. In the decades that followed, tattoo ink continued to evolve and improve. In the 1970s, a new type of ink called organic pigment was introduced. These inks were made from natural materials like vegetable dyes and minerals and were much safer and less toxic than previous types of ink. Today, tattoo ink is typically made from a combination of organic and synthetic pigments, which allows for a wide range of colors and shades. Most modern tattoo inks are non-toxic and safe for use on the skin and are subject to strict health and safety regulations in many countries. One of the most significant recent developments in tattoo ink has been the introduction of UV reactive ink. These inks are designed to glow under black light and have become increasingly popular for their unique and eye-catching effects. Overall, the history of tattoo ink reflects the ongoing evolution of tattooing as an art form and a cultural practice. From the use of natural materials in ancient times to the development of modern, non-toxic inks, tattoo ink has played a critical role in the development and evolution of tattooing as we know it today. The first inked man in history is a topic of much debate and speculation, as tattooing is an ancient practice that has been documented in many cultures around the world. However, one of the earliest known examples of tattooing on a human body is the mummified remains of a man known as Otzi the Iceman. Otzi lived over 5,000 years ago in what is now the Italian Alps, and his body was discovered by hikers in 1991. Upon examination, it was discovered that Otzi had at least 61 tattoos on his body, made using a charcoal pigment. These tattoos were located primarily on his legs, arms, and back, and consisted of simple lines and dots arranged in geometric patterns. The purpose of these tattoos is not entirely clear, but it is thought that they may have served a symbolic or ritualistic purpose related to Otzi's social or religious identity. Some researchers have speculated that the tattoos may have been used to alleviate joint pain or other ailments, as they were located in areas of the body that would have been subject to physical stress or injury. Regardless of their purpose, Otzi's tattoos provide a fascinating glimpse into the ancient practice of tattooing and serve as a reminder that the desire to adorn and personalize the body has been a part of human culture for thousands of years. The invention of the modern tattoo machine is credited to Samuel O'Reilly, an American inventor who patented his design in 1891. O'Reilly's machine was based on an earlier design by Thomas Edison, which used an electric motor to drive a rotary needle assembly. O'Reilly's machine consisted of a rotary motor, a needle bar, and a tube that held the needle in place. The needle bar was attached to the motor, which caused it to move up and down rapidly, driving the needle in and out of the skin. The tube held the needle in place and allowed the tattoo artist to control the depth and angle of the needle. O'Reilly's machine was a significant improvement over earlier handheld tattoo tools, which were typically made from a sharpened stick or bone. With his machine, O'Reilly was able to create more precise and consistent tattoos, and the use of an electric motor made the process faster and less physically demanding. Over time, O'Reilly's design was refined and improved upon by other inventors and tattoo artists, leading to the development of a variety of different types of tattoo machines. Today, there are many different types of tattoo machines available, ranging from traditional coil machines to rotary machines, and they are used by artists around the world to create a wide range of tattoo styles and designs. Samuel O'Reilly was an American inventor and tattoo artist who is credited with inventing the modern tattoo machine. Born in Connecticut in 1854, O'Reilly began his career as a telegraph operator before turning to tattooing in the 1870s. At that time, tattooing was still a relatively crude and primitive practice, often performed using handheld tools made from sharpened sticks or bone. O'Reilly was drawn to the craft, however, and he began experimenting with different types of tools and techniques to improve the quality and consistency of his tattoos. In 1891, O'Reilly patented his design for an electric tattoo machine, which was based on an earlier design by Thomas Edison. O'Reilly's machine used an electric motor to drive a rotary needle assembly, which allowed for more precise and consistent tattooing than was possible with earlier handheld tools. O'Reilly's machine was an immediate success, and it quickly spread throughout the tattooing community. With the ability to create more intricate and detailed tattoos, the popularity of tattooing began to grow rapidly, and O'Reilly's machine became an essential tool for tattoo artists around the world. O'Reilly continued to work as a tattoo artist throughout his life, and he was known for his skill in creating realistic portraits and other complex designs. He also continued to refine and improve upon his tattoo machine design, experimenting with different types of motors and needles to create the best possible results. Despite his contributions to the tattooing industry, O'Reilly remained a relatively unknown figure during his lifetime. It was only after his death in 1908 that his contributions to the development of the modern tattoo machine began to be fully appreciated. Today, O'Reilly is recognized as one of the most important figures in the history of tattooing, and his invention of the electric tattoo machine is considered a turning point in the evolution of the craft. His legacy can be seen in the work of tattoo artists around the world, who continue to use his machine designed to create beautiful and meaningful tattoos for their clients. Tattoos have been a popular form of body art for centuries. From ancient times to modern days, tattoos have been used to symbolize various meanings and convey important messages. Let's take a journey through the history of tattoos. Prehistoric times. The earliest evidence of tattoos dates back to prehistoric times. Archaeological discoveries have found that ancient tribes used tattoos as a form of identification and to represent their status in the community. Ancient Egypt. In ancient Egypt, tattoos were used as a symbol of devotion to the gods. Priests and priestesses often had tattoos of sacred symbols and animals. It was also common for women to have tattoos on their bodies as a form of beauty and attraction. Polynesia. In Polynesia, tattoos were a significant part of the culture. They were used to represent social status, genealogy, and personal achievements. The intricate designs and patterns were created using traditional tools, such as sharp sticks and bone combs. Japan. In Japan, tattoos were used as a form of punishment for criminals. However, over time, tattoos became popular among the working class and were used to represent their professions. Samurai warriors also had tattoos to signify their loyalty and bravery. Modern day. Today, tattoos have become a popular form of self-expression and art. People of all ages and backgrounds get tattoos to represent their beliefs, passions, and life experiences. Tattoos are now created using advanced equipment and techniques, making it easier and safer to get inked. Tattoos have come a long way since their humble beginnings. From a form of punishment to a form of self-expression, tattoos have stood the test of time. Whether you choose to get a tattoo or not, remember that each tattoo has a unique story and meaning behind it. Let's delve deeper into the fascinating history of tattoos.